that will be unique, okay?
Okay, I
So
hear
then it
talking.
will
Where is that
also
coming from?
help so that Facebook don't think.
All right. If you guys can still hear me, type Y in the chat box. I didn't know where that
What
was
is
coming.
focus?
I hear
It's
it
a
again. I
wondrous
still hear
sensation of
know it.
clarity and
Hold on one
alignment.
second here. All right, let's try this again. That sounds like a phantom, just like a commercial playing on my computer. I don't know where. But anyways, welcome everybody. This is our Saturday night live mindset training. My name is Brandon Ivey. I am a global power with Shopping Sherlock, and glad to be here this evening to give you guys some special training. And we're just going to kind of piggyback on what we went over last week when we introduced the script for you guys. And I guarantee you, if you use this script, you will get results. But we're going to follow a format for tonight.
These contacts for
I
something
hear it
else as
again.
well. You can select
Hit star
friend users,
5.
and if you click run now, it will automatically
Hold on one
go to
second here.
all
It's not coming
these
from my
users
phone.
in this text file. It will automatically request to be friends with
Hey,
them,
Rod, let me
and
make you
that
a
way you can build
presenter
a
here. Maybe
huge
you can.
targeted following on
Let's see.
Facebook.
Let's see.
Now imagine if you have a new Facebook profile and you manage to add hundreds or maybe even thousands of friends.
Okay, yeah, I'm at a huge loss. It's somewhere coming from my computer, and I don't know why. But that's okay. What I want to be able to do is, and let me see if I want to pull this up because we want to first talk about the industry that we're in here. When we talk about shopping Sherlock, because if you know the industry, then you know and you're arming yourself with more information when you're talking to people about your business. Here's one thing that you must understand. People do not sign up with companies. People sign up with people. And they sign up with the individual because they believe in the vision. They believe in where you believe this company is going. So it's important, and I had a good talk with Penny Kyle about this, about becoming a professional. And it maybe in about 2 more weeks we'll do another training on becoming a professional for 2014 on a mindset training. But when you become a professional, you also do research and learn about the industry that you're in, and you're going to arm yourself with the knowledge. And when you're speaking to other people, they'll see that you actually know what you're talking about and you believe what you're talking about. Now, how can you learn about our industry? We're in Shopping Sherlock, so how can you learn about this industry? Well, first and foremost, just turn on the news. Every single day, practically every single day, there is something in the news about our industry. And I'm actually going to do a screen share right now just to show you this. Give me 1 second here. All right. right, let's do desktop share. All right, you guys should be able to see my screen right now. Sure. Now, take a look at this article. This is an article that came out from Yahoo Finance. Now, this was dated January 18th. I actually saw, well, this article January 17th, yesterday, but CNN did a special on Best Buy just the day before on January 16th. And then the 17th, articles started popping from all over the place. So here is one of the articles, and I actually did a video on this as well. It's called Stores Confront New World of Reduced Shopper Traffic. Now, like I said, this is huge. If anybody questions you on the viability of Shopping Sherlock, if they question you on, is this a company that's going to be around? Is this an industry that's going to be around? Take a look at this. I'm going to go over a couple of highlights. Best Buy Company, and we all know what Best Buy is, on Thursday became the latest retailer to chime in with a weak holiday results. Like other chains, the electronics retailer blamed the race to offer the deepest discounts, a game of brinkmanship that hurt profit margins and held back revenue. But there is a deeper malaise at work. A long term change in shopper habits has reduced store traffic, perhaps permanently, and shifted pricing power away from malls and big box retailers. That paragraph right there sums up exactly why Shopping Sherlock is going to become the next billion-dollar business. I'm going to read to you guys, I have this up here. Here's a statement that Mark Levesque, Global Power, stated. He said, I would say that our economy is in the most significant transfer of wealth in history as business continues to move online. Whoever enables the masses to profit from this wealth transfer will prosper dramatically. A business owner of the Shopping Sherlock not only helps the average person or business benefit by finding lower prices, but enables them to earn an income as an online affiliate. This is affiliate income that can be earned without the learning curve or the investment required to generate an income as a traditional online affiliate marketer. Now, I looked at some old videos of Mark Levesque. He's been around Shopping Sherlock longer than me. And he's been saying this since the beginning. So let me repeat what he said in layman's terms. Everybody believes that there's an economic recession taking place right now. We feel it in our lives. We feel it on our jobs. We see people getting laid off. But the amount of money that's still floating around and changing hands hasn't changed. What changed is where that money is going. So what Mark is saying is that there's been a shift in where the money is going in the industry. So if you believe that your industry that you're in right now is going through an economic recession, then it's only smart for you to change industries and get involved in an industry that is not in an economic recession. E-commerce and m-commerce is the opposite of economic recession. This is a $1.29 trillion industry growing at $200 billion a year. That's not a recession. So what Mark is saying is whoever creates a business or gets involved in a business where that money transfer is taking place, you're going to be flat out wealthy. Hope you guys are still with me. So let's continue with this. The fast rise in e-commerce is a challenge that brick and mortar retailers have wrestled with for years. Across a number of retailers, their defensive strategies don't seem to be panning out. Now, I want you, whenever I say Best Buy, I want you to replace that in your mind with a company called Blockbuster Video. You guys remember Blockbuster Video? Or Hollywood Video? Make sure you guys are still with me here. You can see me. Yes. Blockbuster Video and Hollywood Video, they were faced with a crisis. Netflix and other companies like Netflix came out, and before Netflix had streaming video, they were offering you to mail your DVD to your home. Blockbuster said that's not going to work because the DVDs are going to get cracked. People don't want to wait 3 days for their movie to come in, and they want instantly. So they want to be able to walk into the store, pick it up, and then because you have foot traffic in the store, people always get more videos than what they went in there for. We're not worried about Netflix. That's what Blockbuster Video said. And they also said, yeah, this is about a generation off before something like that becomes popular. Now, they had a chance to adapt. They had the money, the power, and the resources to create their own version of Netflix. They chose not to because they said it would have been too much money to do a project like that, and they didn't think it was viable. So when I talk about Best Buy right now, I want you to think about Blockbuster, and believe me, Best Buy is as well, and you're going to see what they're about to do. See, here's what happened. The fast rise in e-commerce is a challenge that brick and mortar retailers have wrestled with for years. Across a number of retailers, their defensive strategies don't seem to be panning out. For example, Best Buy overhauled its store layouts and marketing in the past year, even inviting shoppers to showroom the electronics retailer, co-opting the term for people who try out products in stores and then buy them for less online. Despite those changes, visits to Best Buy dropped off after Thanksgiving weekend. Chief Executive Hubert Jolly said in an interview, not only are more people shopping online, but the web has eroded. Picture that? The web has eroded demand for former consumer electronic staples such as compact discs. Ah ha ha ha! That's something else that's about to go the way of the dinosaur. Back in the day, many of you may be too young to remember 8 tracks or record players. My dad told me a story how he had a record player rigged up in the trunk. I mean, in the glove compartment of his car, and speakers in his trunk. Now he couldn't play it while he was driving, but their whole thing was at basketball games or after school. They would open up the trunk, pop open the glove compartment in the parking lot, and play music in the parking lot in cars with record players. That's what they did back then. He had 8 tracks. Then you had tape decks. Then you had CDs. Now they're talking about their concern that nobody is buying CDs anymore. Why? Because people are streaming their music and downloading it online. Personally, I haven't purchased music from a music store or a CD in maybe 10 years, maybe more since then. Now, there is a phenomenon that impacts traffic to the physical stores, Mr. Jolly said. There is no doubt about it. Traffic to U.S. retailers was hurt during the financial crisis and recession, when job losses soared and shoppers kept a tight grip on their dollars. But nearly 5 years into the recovery? What recovery? 5 years into the recovery, it appears many of those shoppers may never be coming back. If you guys are still with me, type I in the chat box. I want to make sure you're still with me. I'm proving a point here. I'm arming you guys with information so that you can be proud when you're going out there talking about this business. Because at this stage, the people out there aren't looking for us. They don't know that there's a company called Shopping Sherlock that they can actually make a lot of money. They don't know that. So it's up to us to share this information and get the word out before it goes viral, because it's about to go viral. Yesterday, we had the biggest one-day sales in the entire Shopping Sherlock history. Happened yesterday. This month of January is going to turn out to be the biggest month in the entire company, and it's the first month of 2014. Well, how do you think the rest of the year is going to turn out? So I want to arm you guys with this. Feel proud about what it is you have and what you're offering. People aren't doing you a favor by signing up in your business. You're doing them a favor by sharing with them what's taking place in the world. Now, traffic to U.S. retailers was hurt during the financial crisis and recession. When job losses soared and shoppers kept a tight grip on their daughters, let me go past that. Retailers got only about half the holiday traffic in 2013 as they did just 3 years earlier. Half, half. One person I was debating this with said, Brandon, yeah, you're right about this e-commerce stuff, but that's still a generation away because people still like to go in stores and they want to look at the what does a screen look like on a 50-inch TV. They want to compare the what it looks like. They want to touch. They want to feel. So this is a generation away. I say you must have lost your mind. This is just a couple of years away. And here's my proof. Retailers got only about half the holiday traffic in 2013 as they did just 3 years ago. That doesn't sound like a generation ago. How do you go and lose half your traffic in just 3 years? What took you 2,010 years to get to, you lost half of it in 3 years. Now, the data firm tracked declines of 28.2% in 2011, 16.3% in 2012, and 14.6% in 2013. Online sales increased by more than double the rate of brick and mortar sales this holiday season. Shoppers don't seem to be using physical stores to browse as much either. I mean, what is shopping Sherlock? All we do is price compare. So why would you drive to 4 or 5 different stores and waste gas and time when you can just type in whatever it is you're looking for on your home computer and within seconds price comparing with hundreds of stores? So here's the deal. Shoppers like Sarah Reen see little reason to spend much time in brick and mortar stores. I love to shop, but since having 3 kids, the mall is the biggest waste of time I can think of, said Mrs. Rain, 37 years old, who works at a Washington nonprofit. My weekends are one long to-do list, so I've gravitated to online retailers that make it easy for me to shop without having to go to the store. I don't want to hear anybody telling me I can't find anybody who might have interest in shopping Sherlock. This is the average of taking place right now. What she just said. Online retailers that make it easy for me to shop without having to go into the store. Anthony Dolphin, 23, a mechanical engineer from Massachusetts, said he likes to look up deals online before making the trek to stores. Is this a Shopping Sherlock press release? Or is this straight from Yahoo Finance? Think about that. He said he likes to look up deals online before making the trek to stores. Even so, he only made 3 or 4 short trips to stores over the holidays. I just buy the essentials and pay off student loans with the rest. Oh my goodness. In other words, the money that he's saving from shopping online, he's using the savings to pay off student loans. You've got to be kidding me. Are you guys getting the picture here? Is a light bulb going off in your head? It isn't just the mall. Traffic has weakened at Walmart stores and Target Corp since the summer of 2012. Michael Weeder, every time you talk to him, you can't have one conversation with him without him talking and mentioning about the trends. He's been watching this for some time now. A Target spokesman said shoppers are making fewer trips as traffic has been impacted by the uneven economic environment, but are spending more when they do show up. See, online sales accounted for just 5.9% of overall retail sales in the third quarter, but they have an outsized impact on how shoppers use stores and what they will pay. Retailers are missing out on chances to spur impulse purchases as consumers turn to the web to browse or research big ticket items. while online replenishment programs like Amazon.com, and subscribe and save are reduced. They might as well just say Shopping Sherlock are reducing the need to visit stores for everyday items like diapers and toilet paper. Yeah, you can buy diapers and toilet paper from Sherlock. Meanwhile, online stores have further sharpened purchase decisions and prices, leading some shoppers to come into the stores only when they can cherry pick discounted items. We're not fools anymore. We're not falling for the retail hype prices. These retailers are fighting an uphill battle, said Cohen and Company analyst Faye Lance. If people don't come to your stores, it reduces the possibility shoppers will buy anything. Really? I almost said something I shouldn't have said there. The decline in shopper traffic spooked retailers, including Express Inc., and prompted them to aggressively boost promotions and slash prices during the holidays, a move that dented profit margins and weighed on earnings forecasts, retailers said. In general, the change in foot traffic at brick and mortar stores is among the reasons retailers such as Home Depot Inc. cut back on new store openings in favor of shifting that investment. Wait, whoa. They use the term shifting. What did Global Power Mark Levesque say? This is the biggest economic shift in wealth transfer. And here you have Yahoo Finance article, January 17th, 2014. And what do they say? Shift that investment toward online operations. So they're not saying that the money's not being spent. What they're saying is that the money is shifting on where it's being spent. So, how would you like to own equity in a company where people are shifting their buying habits from going into the brick and mortar store to doing it through your Sherlock Saver? Hello. On Wednesday, JCPenney said it planned to close. Now, see, here's where people are facing economic crisis and a recession if you're working for these stores. JCPenney said it planned to close 33 underperforming stores and trim 2,000 positions to focus on locations that generate the strongest profits. 2,000 people are about to get laid off. So for those individuals, this is a huge recession taking place. But what if those 2,000 people decide, oh, I don't know, maybe I'll get a career where the shift is taking place? E-commerce, online shopping, shopping Sherlock. Such closings could accelerate leases for big retailers, typically that last between 10 to 25 years, meaning many were negotiated before e-commerce really took off. I made a prediction a couple of weeks back when I've been studying this, and I said, these stores like Best Buy, they're not going to close like Blockbuster did. They're going to switch themselves and focus more on becoming a window store type store. Allow people to come into their store and window shop, and then allow those people to purchase those items on their device at a cheaper discount and just pick it up at the store. That's what's going to happen. I made that prediction a couple of weeks ago. I even shot a video on it. Now listen to this. Only 44 million square feet of retail space opened in 54 largest U.S. markets last year, down 87% in 2006. In less than 10 years, real estate is down 87%. Macy's Inc., which last week announced plans to close 5 stores and lay off 2,500 employees, said store closures were caused by traffic declines. But the shift is causing the department store chain to rethink. Here we go. Here's my prediction. Rethink its brick and mortar stores to make them more productive by serving online sales. Let me ask you guys a question. Do you think your neighbors know that this is going on right now? Do you think your friends on Facebook who's promoting health and wellness, who's promoting coffee, who's promoting telecommunications, do you think they have any idea this is taking place? You should feel like Bill Gates when he went on TV and said, I'm going to put a Windows on every computer and people are going to use email instead of regular mail. You know something nobody knows about yet. Even though it's in the news, people aren't catching on yet. So they are rethinking its brick and mortar stores to make them more productive by serving online sales. Traffic habits are changing, but it's not leading us to close more stores, says CFO Karen Hoget in an interview Thursday. Now we can supplement store traffic with internet sales. They're not stupid. For instance, the department store chain has converted more than half its 840 physical stores to be able to fulfill online orders. That allowed it to keep the majority of its inventory of popular cashmere sweaters on store shelves in front of customers during the holidays rather than stocking them in far-away warehouses. Best Buy took similar steps over the holidays, expanding its ship from store program to more than 400 locations. The electronics retailer said its U.S. online sales rose 24%. Best Buy, see, here's the deal. Even though people aren't walking into their store and buying, they are going through the website. Do we not have Best Buy on Shopping Sherlock? Yes. Their online sales rose by 24%. It's just a shift in wealth. The money is still being spent, it's just being spent somewhere else. For the first time in history, every single one of you can be positioned to get a piece of this shift in wealth. In the 9 weeks to January 4th, Best Buy sales excludingly newly opened or closed stores fell by 0.9% in the U.S. The company said the discounting it employed to win those sales back took a heavy bite out of its operating margins. The report prompted a sell-off in its shares, which fell nearly 29%. That's why this was a big story. Best Buy sales fell 29%. Best Buy said on a conference call with analysts Thursday. Here is the most important paragraph of this article, so pay close attention. It's the last paragraph. Best Buy said on a conference call with analysts Thursday, that was 2 days ago, that expanding its online presence will be a top priority in 2014. CFO Sharon said the company will invest more in online marketing and customer databases this year to catch up with its competitors. We were outcompeted from an online marketing standpoint, she said. That is $1 million paragraph. Let me break that down in layman's terms. What she is saying there. What they are going to do is not only expand their own online, because they already have a website. They already sell items online. That's not a secret. So what does she mean? What more are they going to do? Here's some things they're going to do. They're going to start buying up affiliate programs and affiliate companies that can bring them more traffic. They're going to spend more money on online marketing and advertising to bring them more traffic. Why is that important? This is when you put your business hat on and why you want to be a global power. The most important thing in this business is something called equity. Can you imagine, or do you think it's far-fetched, that a company like Best Buy or Amazon or Google or Facebook would buy a company like Shopping Sherlock that over the next year or two can put over 500,000 customers through their Sherlock, or 1 million customers through the Sherlock, 50,000 reps, and they decide to buy Sherlock for $10 billion. Oh, you don't think that's possible? There's an LA based online shopping firm here that started in 1999, did no, I repeat, no marketing or advertising, and was bought out in 2006. And I got to talk to Mr. Weeder about that. I forgot the figure. I think it was like $250 million. They have nothing on shopping Sherlock. It's not too far fetched to think that this company is not going to be bought out by $1 billion more. And those of you who own equity will get a piece of that. This is where the trend is going. These big companies aren't going to close their doors. They're going to adapt. They're not going to be like Hollywood Video and Blockbuster. This is why it is so important to be focused on what you're doing and not let these other fly-by-night hillbilly companies that just spring up because it's the new year promise you to make a lot of money over the next 30 days, get you off focus and sidetracked. There is nothing out there right now that is going to pay you more and have you better positioned than this company right now with no competition. If you guys are still with me, type I. I got off a phone call with a gentleman, a CEO of another company 3 days ago. He's in pre-launch. He offered me to be the master distributor and a corporate position to be corporate trainer. That would have paid me a guaranteed $10,000 a month just by having that title. I said no. Why? Because it can't touch what this is going to do long term. I'm willing to sacrifice on the short term for where this is going to be on the long term. And if you can't see it by turning on the news, hey, you know that old saying I say, it's a difference if you miss the wave by standing on the shore. It's another thing to miss the wave when you're in the water. You're in the ocean on your boogie board or your surfboard, you still miss the wave. That's where we are today. So now what we're going to do is we are going to focus on tonight on the next thing. Because now I kind of gave you guys, you know what, let me, I got to stop the screen share. Let me give you the link to that article. What I would strongly advise is for you to make a video showing this article and show it to everybody. Massive exposure. Massive exposure. Let's talk about customers. Here's 3 basic scripts that you can use to sign up a customer. Now, this is not talking about what Lou Smith does. Lou Smith can teach you how to get 100 customers in your first week in the business. All right? 100 customers in your first week in the business. Lou Smith teaches that. But what we're going to talk about right now is just you having this knowledge on when you're actually speaking to somebody. Here's number 1. And as I read this, if you got on your end, I know I can't hear you, nobody else can hear you, but say it out loud to yourself. And you want to practice this over and over and over and over again. And I even have the script up on our Power Team website. In fact, let me, because the people are going to start already asking me 1,000,001 questions about it. So let me do screen share again. And I'll show you where to go to get the script. PowerTeamMarketing.com. Shopping Sherlock script. I had a video that here's a 4-minute video, 5-minute video that's talking about exactly what I'm about to tell you right now. So you can watch the 5-minute video, and here's the script. So if you don't want to know where to go to get it. Got that right, Mr. Washington. All right, here's script number 1. Could you do me a huge favor? We're going old school. This script is a script I was taught in 1998, before internet stuff. when we had to do it the old fashioned way and actually pick up the phone and talk to somebody. Could you do me a huge favor? This is something that this script number one is who you want to use. Friends, family, people that you know. I just got started in my own home based business and I am working on getting promoted. Could you please help me out and be my customer? I'm just a few customers away from getting promoted. And you're not lying here. To be a star affiliate, you need to have 5 customers. To be a power, you need to have 10. To be a global, you need to have 20. And to be a diamond, you need to have 40. So you might as well knock out your 40 customers in your first 30 days. The best part is that it will not cost you anything. Our product is free. Thank you very much. Now, you're not selling anything here. See, people say, Brandon, I'm not a salesman. I can't sell. I'm not direct sales. And guess what? I am the complete opposite of direct sales. Direct sell people laugh at me. They make fun of me. They look down on me because I can't do what they do. I can't sell fire to an Eskimo or ice water in the Mojave Desert. I am not a salesman, and I have no desire to be one. But I can sure give away a product for free. And if I'm talking to somebody that I know and I ask them, hey, do me a huge favor, man. I just got started in my own business. I'm trying to get promoted here. You know I got laid off a couple months ago. Help me out. Try the product. It's free. And thank you. And if they say no, we have problems. You mean to tell me you can't take 15 seconds and at least be my customer so I can get promoted? Didn't I help drive you to the airport? Or when your car broke down, who did you call? Me. Who'd you call when you needed help moving? Me. Who'd you call when you needed $50 to borrow? Me. But I'm asking you to try my product for free and you're going to say no to me. We have problems. That is why script number one is designed this way. It's no pressure. Here is script number two. Now, before I keep going on, anybody have any question about script number one? I strongly encourage you to say it word for word. But say what I would say as you would say it. You can ad-lib it a bit. You get the point. So if you have a question, let me know and I may turn your mic on. You can ask the question if you got a question about script number one. But I'm going to go on to script number two. Script number two is, and this is still with friends and family, okay? This is still with friends and family. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever bought anything online before? Yes or no? I don't have that in the script. Maybe I'll rewrite it to put it in there. But the reason you put yes or no is because whenever you ask somebody a question, you always ask a question you know the answer to. And you pigeonhole them to answering it the way you want them to answer it. There is no maybe. There is no I don't know. Yes or no. If they say no, then you say, do you know anyone who has? If they say yes, you say, hey, what if I could show you how to save money on every single purchase you make online by giving you a free membership to a secret shopping website called the Sherlock Saver. Hey man, why are you whispering? Because it's a secret. It's a secret. Nobody knows about this. How would you like to save money? I'm gonna hook you up. I'm gonna give you the hookup. Doesn't everybody want the hookup? Isn't everybody trying to get over one way or another? They want the cheater's way, the shortcut. Hey, listen, I'm gonna give you a hookup for free. Just give me your email address and we will get you set up in 30 seconds. And guess what, man? Guess what, buddy? It's free. Ah, that's all you had to say. It's free. You guys understand that script? Who in their right mind says no to that? I'll tell you, People who just don't like or trust you. All right? If they don't trust you or they don't like you, it doesn't matter what you say, the answer will always be no. That's okay. Move on. Move on to the next. Here's script number 3. Hey, listen, I am going to do you a huge favor. This is mostly for cold market type. Look, I'm gonna give you a deal. I'm gonna hook you up. I'm gonna do you a favor. I don't need you to do me a favor. I'm doing you a favor. It's all in your posture, ladies and gentlemen. You always, we're Americans. We always come from a position of strength in negotiations. Always, always have, and always will. It is the same in business. You never approach from a position of weakness. Those of you in the military know exactly what I'm talking about. Position of strength. So listen, I'm going to do you a huge favor. What was the last item you purchased online and how much did you pay for it? See, the difference between this question and the first two, you're not asking them if they've ever purchased online. You're already assuming that they have, and you're correct to assume so because 97% of all people have already done so. So you ask them, what was the last thing you purchased online? How much did you pay for it? I don't know, print cartridges, about 50 bucks. Hey, why don't you give me that, the exact item you bought? Let me see if I can find you a better deal. You pull up the Sherlock, you put the item in there, and then you show that person, hey, if you had Sherlocked it through me, this is how much money you would have saved. You know how old this strategy is? This goes way back to oil slick type salesmen that used to go door to door. The vacuum cleaners. You know, the guy that would knock on your door and have this $1,000 vacuum cleaner in his hand. You don't want to pay $1,000 for a vacuum cleaner. But he takes one look at your carpet and says, watch, I'm going to do part of this carpet for free. I may even do one room for you for free. And you are utterly amazed by how clean that vacuum cleaner got that room. You're like, yeah, I'll pay $1,000 for it. Because he gave you a test drive. This is what you're doing. You are actually showing them that if the last item they bought, had they bought it from you, this is how much money they would have saved. And then how does that sound? Again, who is going to say no to that? The only other reason why I could see somebody saying no is because they don't want to spend the time, the 4 or 5 minutes, to allow you to show them how to save some money. Doug, I used to do the same thing too. Water filters called Hagen water. Showed them if you had this water filter in your home and you wash your hands with it, your hands are now nice and smooth and soft as if you put lotion on it because that's what water's supposed to feel like. Oh yeah, I used to do that. It's the same concept here. Only difference is you're not asking anybody for any money. Now, can you imagine at the end of this year, and the Sherlock is worth $4 a Sherlock, and you go out there and get 100 customers or 500 customers? How's an extra $2,000 a month? What if you decided, I don't want to recruit nobody. I'm not that type of guy. I'm direct sales guy. Great. You use this step because by being hands-on and showing them how to use this, you're showing them value for the product. They're going to be more likely to use the product and be what's called an active customer. And every active customer that will pay you out $4 a Sherlock, what if you spent 30 days and all you did for 30 days was took 5 to 10 minutes on every customer you signed up with and showed them how it works, and now you're earning an extra $2,000 a month. Is that time well spent? That's just on the Sherlock Saver alone. Now let's talk about building for the business. So before I move on, does anybody have any questions about this customer script? Either raise your flag or type me in the chat box. Anybody have any questions?
Brandon, I think the information. This is Victoria Peterson calling from Durham, North Carolina. I think the information that you're sharing with us is awesome. I think you've missed your calling. I think you really should be a professor, and educating people about this industry. You're doing an awesome job, and I'm really enjoying it. Here's my question: when you have persons who aren't all that comfortable in using the internet, but they are interested in learning how to shop online. Do we spend more time with them? I mean, how, because we don't have a whole lot of time to really spend with people. We want to try to say what we can say and move on and move on to the next person. So how do you deal with folks who really have never had that experience but may be interested in shopping online?
Well, first I'd ask them this question. You do have an interest in shopping online, so are you willing to learn how to do so? And if the answer is yes, then I will spend the 5-10 minutes to show them how to log to the website and how to do the basic functions. And then I will leave them with a video. We already have videos that will walk people through this so that you now can move on, and then you make yourself available. If they have any questions, they can give you a call. So does that make sense?
Yes, thank you. Thank
Fantastic.
you.
And Victoria, I am a professor actually. I am a teacher. I'm
Oh,
two semesters away from getting my master's degree if I choose to do so.
okay, okay, all right. Well, you're doing a good job.
Thank you. All right. Anybody else? Anybody have any questions on this on the customer scripts? Any questions on the customer script? All right, let's move on to now what I'm good at doing, which is actually signing people up in the business. Signing up distributors. Now, I want to say this, guys, because I know a lot of you out there, you join Shopping Sherlock and you love the product and you want to be able to make a lot of money off the Sherlock Saver, but manage your expectations. And what do I mean by manage your expectations? What I mean by that is you're not going to get rich by getting a bunch of customers on the Sherlock Saver right now. Okay, Matt asked a quick question. When will the search bar be implemented on the mobile app? I don't have an answer on the timetable. All I do know is that it's being worked on, and we're going to hear more info on that when we go to Vegas about the search bar on the mobile app side. Also, that we've got, I don't know if I can share more about the search bar for Shopping Sherlock on your computer. No, you're going to hear more information about that stuff in Vegas. I will say this though. We are in the process. Oh, can I say this? No, I better shut up. I'll wait till Mr. Weeder says something on that. Be quiet. Let's talk about being a distributor. Now, when I say manage your expectations, when you're signing up customers, you want your customers to know that, because they're going to ask you 1,000,001 questions on how much money am I going to get paid if I buy a computer online? How much money if one of my customers buys a transistor or they buy, a iPhone? How much money am I making off of that purchase? You're not buying it from Shopping Sherlock. Shopping Sherlock is only the third party that matches a consumer with a distributor, a consumer with the source of the product they want to buy. So they're not buying anything from Shopping Sherlock. So we're not paying you or a person who's shopping online. We're an affiliate company. And as the affiliate company, and Matt, what I'll say about that is that the mobile app is continually being upgraded right now. So as you see it right now, that's not what it's going to end up being. So it's still in the testing phase. So it's going to get there. So I almost lost my train of thought for a second. Oh yeah. So when somebody asks how much money am I earning, say this is all I know. What I can tell you is we can tell you what the average is going to be. We can tell you what the average is going to be. So the average that you're going to earn from every Sherlock you give away is going to be $1 to $1.50 per active user. What does that mean? What does active user mean? Well, the average active user does about 100 clicks per month. 100 clicks. Why is that important? Because these affiliate companies are not just paying us because a sale was generated. They're paying us for traffic to their website. So even if a purchase is not made, we're getting credit for that. And since we're dealing with dozens and hundreds of different stores, all selling the same items, not all of them have the same affiliate pay structure. And it's like the stock market. It is always shifting. It is always changing. So you want to make sure you have your language down when you're talking to people about what they're going to make from the Sherlock. Instead of focusing on how would you like to get paid every time somebody purchases something online, instead say how would you like to get paid from people just price comparing using the shopping Sherlock instead of Google. And okay, well, what am I going to get paid? You're going to get paid $1 to $1.50 per active user. What's an active user? About 100 clicks per month. Some's going to be more, some's going to be less. That's just the average. You will save yourself a whole lot of heartache and pain trying to break down the. Can you imagine a stockbroker trying to explain to you how the stock market works? And you have no idea? That's how this is. And even if we were able to say, okay, this is Best Buy's breakdown, next week Best Buy can change it all up because it's a different season and they have different promos going on. Do you know how time consuming that would be? It's impossible. It's like the oil market, too. So I hope everybody understands that concept. And you're looking at 60 days from the usage today for this month. You're looking at the payout going 60 days. We're going into March. And then after that point, it's every 30 days. Why? And I know someone always asks me that question. Why does it take 60 days for me to get paid from somebody using the Sherlock? Again, because people are not paying Sherlock. People are paying Best Buy, Walmart, Amazon, eBay. And then those companies will sit on a purchase for 30 days to make sure that there's no chargebacks, to make sure that there's no returns, to make sure that they call it a clean transaction. Once that happens, then they go through and say, okay, what affiliate company brought me this sale? Once they figure that out, then they pay the affiliate companies. Once they pay the affiliate companies, then the affiliate company like Shopping Sherlock pays us. That doesn't happen overnight. So this is how you manage your expectations. You want to make some quick upfront money now? It's by building your organization, and now you have more people out there signing up Sherlocks to build your long-term back-end residual income. I hope that makes sense, and I'm glad I recorded this because I don't. Can you imagine having to explain that 400 times a day? We've got over 1,700 people on our team. All right, here's the script for becoming a distributor. Script number one. So script number 1 and 2 is when you're dealing with friends and family. It's similar to customer scripts. So script 1 and 2, dealing with friends and family. Always remember, people like to buy, they don't like to be sold. Can you do me a huge favor? I just got started in my own home-based business, and I am just learning. Similar to the customer. Can you watch this quick 5-minute video for me and let me know if you know anyone who would be interested? I would really appreciate it. What's the 5-minute video? It's the video on your shoppingsherlock.com webpage. Okay? shoppingsherlock.com homepage is a 5-minute video. After the convention, there's 3 new videos being made right now. You're going to have a new promo video to use. Or you can use that 57-second video I made. It's on Noel's the What's Up Sherlock capture page. So it doesn't matter basically what you show them as long as you're getting them exposed to something. And notice the key thing in here is you're not asking them for if they're interested. You're asking them if they could watch the video and refer you to somebody who is interested. See, Lou Smith, for example, takes this to another level. She says, "I know you're not interested, but do you know somebody who is?" I'm not being as as what's the word? Forceful with them. I'm basically letting them know up front, listen, it's okay. I'm not asking if you, I already know you're doing another company. You're doing something else. You already think what you're doing is the greatest. You keep doing what you're doing, but do me a favor. Take a look at this, and you may know somebody who this may be for. It may be for a friend. It may be for a family member. It might even be for your wife or your husband. The bottom line is you're exposing them to this business. That's the whole point. I would really appreciate it. Why would somebody say no to that? You're not asking them to join your business. I always take the passive-aggressive approach. I do so in debating. I do so in arguing. I do so when I want to get my point across. I do so in building a business. The passive-aggressive. People like to buy. They don't like to be sold. Here's script number 2. Listen, I know you probably are not interested, but I heard about a company that is paying people to shop online. That's more aggressive there. Listen, I know you probably are not interested, but I heard about a company that is paying people to shop online. This company is moving real fast. So can you take a look at this quick video and let me know if you know anyone who would be interested? Yes or no? A little bit more aggressive than script number 1. That's for people that you know that they're in other companies. Again, the purpose is to expose them to what you're doing without them feeling like you're trying to sign them up into your business. Isn't that annoying? You guys are on Facebook. And somebody shoots you a message and the first thing out of their mouth is, "Hey, why don't you join my business? We could use a leader like you." Come on, man. At least say Happy New Year. You know, at that point, you don't care what it is. They may be trying to give away a Lamborghini.